On today's episode, I want to talk to you about something that has been heavy on my heart and on my mind as so much continues to change in the world around us. And no matter your opinions or your beliefs, I just can't help but wonder if we don't all know somebody that is being significantly impacted by the decisions that are being made. I don't want to get into politics. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole, but here's what I do want to talk about. We all know and understand grief. We all understand rage. We understand anger. And maybe for some of us, those emotions were more permissible than they were for others. Some of us here just weren't allowed to be angry. Anger was just not an emotion that was permissible in your household growing up. Or maybe tears, sadness were not permissible. Maybe laughter wasn't permissible. Maybe you were just too loud when you were playing. We all have varying degrees of what was allowed and comfortable and invited and welcome and familiar into the homes that we grew up in. And this is not to say that there's any blame or shame to anyone in that household. It's just to acknowledge the awareness of what our reality was and how we've been conditioned and ways that maybe we don't feel safe to fully express what is living within us. So on today's episode, I want to talk about holding the duality of when you feel angry, when you feel resentment or rage or bitterness or sadness or grief, when you are deeply grieving about something, when you are at a place where you can't even feel it, when you don't even know how to process what's happening, what's unfolding, or how it might impact you or how it may impact others around you. And I know some of you are thinking, okay, this is great. She's going on a rant or a tangent about this, but what does this have to do with my business? And let me just tell you, I think it has everything to do with business. What do I mean by that? I mean, you are a whole person. You are you. All of your feelings, all of your doubts, your fears, your insecurities, your strengths, your desires, your longings, like you are you and you are uniquely you. The desires that are put within you are meant for you. They are there. They are created with importance, with a purpose. I just don't believe that we long for the things that we long for, but never are able to attain them. I don't believe that we were created to feel as deeply as we feel without giving the permission to ourselves to feel those things. So I found myself in this crazy duality, navigating big waves of emotion over the last, few weeks, days, I don't even know, months, years at this point. As our world has continued to evolve and shift and change. And here's what I feel is so important. Here's what I want to say. What I want to talk about is having the space to hold that duality of grieving when you need to grieve, like feeling it deeply, giving yourself the permission to cry, to bawl, to scream, to rage, to let it out of your body. To let it out, to let it move in you and through you and out. It's the only way. It's the only way that you get to move through them, through the feelings that you're having, is to feel them and to go through them. When we stuff them down and suppress them, they just take up space in our body and they block us from the things that we're actually desiring, from seeing the world with a new lens, from experiencing life with joy and gratitude and eyes wide open. It blocks us from allowing light to come in. And so I want to remind you that if you are in a season, if you are feeling the collective grief, the collective sadness, the collective confusion and disappointment and anger and rage and wanting to just give up on stuff, wanting to just move to another country or whatever the thing is that's coming up for you, I want to remind you that it's okay. to feel the rage, to trust your body that it will not take you further than it is safe for you to go. That you can scream into a pillow or find a safe space to throw some things and shatter some plates or go, I don't know, do axe throwing or find the safe space for you to feel the things that need to be felt. Because simultaneously, the world needs you to feel that deeply so you can also hold the other end of the spectrum. So you can live in the duality of moving things forward, of stepping into your power, to stepping into the fullness and the uniqueness of what you were created to bring to this planet. You are divinely, uniquely, specifically you. And only you have the talents that you have. Only you see the world the way that you do. Only you have the experiences that you do. We need you. We need you to show up. We need you to move through your anger, through your rage, to maybe share your anger, share your rage. We need you to hold the duality of those big, deep emotions and simultaneously continue to move your business forward, to continue to allow people to access your creativity, your genius, the creative ability and genius that you bring to this world. This world is aching and longing for it. So feel the deep feelings. And then also show up, create the content, show up for your audience, build the connection with the people that are in your audience, continue to build and move your business forward, especially in times like this. Create structure around the times when you just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually cannot show up. Create structure in your business so that your audience is still being served, still being loved, still being seen when you are human. It is okay for you to be human, for you to take space. It's the both and. Show up anyway, and take space when you need to. It's the both and of everything in life. It's the duality of high highs and low lows that simultaneously exist in our lives when we feel the depths of despair, but also the greatest joy, the greatest awakening to the world, where you watch the way that light dances on leaves of a tree and it blows your mind. It invites you to see the world with a different lens, to allow more light in, to permeate your body, every cell, every fiber, every inch of who you are. It illuminates your being and allows what you create in this world to be full of light. Light that goes out and shatters darkness and breaks barriers and releases bondages. That light, it comes through you and in you, and it changes the world. So maybe your grief, your rage, your sadness, your anger today is exactly what this world is needing. Maybe it's time for you to get angrier than you've ever been before, to scream louder than you've ever have before, to dance more joyfully than you ever have before. It's in this duality that you expand. And when you expand, your business expands. You become more and more magnetic. People want your authenticity. They want to be around you. Sending you so much love today as you navigate the duality of high highs and low lows, of holding the space for deep grief and sadness and anger, while simultaneously moving your business forward with more excitement and joy and possibility than you've ever imagined possible. Sending you so much love.
If you enjoyed this podcast today, do us a favor and hit subscribe and then leave us a review. If you're looking for more, you can find us at almondleafstudios.com or on Instagram at almondleaf. Remember, you are enough. You are love, you are light, and you are worthy simply because you exist.